Hi everyone, we are Safaera team, conformed by Juanita Murcia, Manuel Pachón Aguirre, Cristian Ballén, and Ivan Rincón. We are students from La Sabana University from the program of Audiovisual and Multimedia Communication, and we are currently in 7th semester. This game review is made for the class of Taller Multimedios Módulo en Animación, dictated by Professor Rigoberto Sáenz in Bakuan. As a team, we made our Instagram account called Safa Game to show our process during the semester. Hope you enjoy the video.
We're going to start this review talking about a game that most people know about. Super Mario Galaxy is considered one of the greatest video games of the new Super Mario Bros. Series, and it was released in 2007 during the SD and Wii era, and it has a great commercial success at this time. Super Mario Galaxy forms part of Nintendo, an industry created in 1989 by Fusahiro Yamauchi, who decided to create his own business. He started to sell poker cards and named his store Nintendo Kopai. The family business was inherited by Hiroshi Yamauchi, who changed the name to Nintendo only. He expanded the company when he got the licenses from the USA to start selling these cards with the image of Mickey Mouse on them. With Gunpei Yokoi's help, they started selling toys in addition to making cards, realizing that the video game business was becoming popular at this time. They started making their first console with the help of Mitsubishi. They started with the creation of the video game Donkey Kong, which was a success. They expand the story of the character who was kidnapped by Jumpman, better known as Mario. As they made so much money creating these games, they expand their industry with their first game console known as the Nintendo Entertainment System. This game was designed to be played in Wii and Wii U console. According to ESRB, this game can be played by everyone, mostly because it is a game that does not have any sign of violence and can be played in multiplayer mode. Super Mario Galaxy is remembered for being the direct legacy of Super Mario 64, one of the first versions of the Super Mario Bros. Game. It has 42 levels with different themes each. The player must overcome these levels by looking for the power stars that vary in quantity depending on the level. The main enemy of Mario Bros. Is Bowser, who stole the power stars, leaving the galaxy without energy. The main feature of this game is that you can move on 360 grades through the worlds. That is to say, this is not a game in which you are in only one direction. There are gravitational changes. Mario can die if he falls out in one of the black holes. That's why if he collects 50 stars, he wins lives. Thanks to the use of the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, this game has two different actions than traditional games in which players run, jump, and fly across galaxies to collect stars and to save Princess Peach. Players use an assortment of moves and power-ups, jumps, spin, attacks, fireballs, turtle shields to defeat tiny creatures inhabiting the Fremen galaxy. Some enemies crumble into pieces when jumped on and get momentarily stunned or making popping sounds when attacked. The stars Wii eats are very important because they open up new worlds and give more lives to Mario. As usual in Mario Bros. Games, the collecting of coins is present in this game. As we can see, the story in which the game is set is basically where Bowser interrupts the celebration of the 100 years of the Stars Festival. He kidnaps the princess and wants to be the king of the galaxy. Mario has the mission of rescuing the princess and the stars. There is a new character in the story called Rosalia, which gives Mario the power of the Flash. The game basically, as we can see, is about adventure and search for the salvation of the princess through different worlds and tests. The basic controls in these games are: with A, we can jump in many different ways depending on how you combine the jump with the other actions. We can confirm menu selections, talk to people, activate pull starts, grab pulls, and fire cannons. With B, you can shoot stars, bits, cancel menu selection. You can shake with the Nintendo control or the nunchucks, activate launch stars, grab and throw objects, skate on ice, and use special abilities when you're. With C, you can duck, dive in water, drop out of bubble. With the upside and down thought, you can move the camera and center the camera behind Mario with C. With plus and minus, you can pause the video.
Another game we want to show you is Minecraft, especially for mobile devices like iPads, tablets, or smartphones. This game platform is known as Minecraft PE, which means Pocket Edition. This version for mobile devices has launched for the first time on August 16 from 2011 by Mojang. However, this name was recently changed to Minecraft Bedrock, in which the main idea was to combine different versions from the game and interact with different platforms, like PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo, and even computers. Besides the main game, Mojang has also Minecraft Earth, where the user can interact with their constructions in the real world with augmented reality, and also can explore different places to discover new surprises around him. Similarly, like Pokemon Go, where you can see a real map from your actual location. For this game, you may have a device that supports AR interaction. In addition, the company has created in 2016 the app Minecraft Education Edition, particularly for school use, where the students can interact with their teachers in real time while learning and solving problems. I think that learning games is a new way to improve the students' skills, and also, in this time of pandemic, it's good for everyone who are locked down in their houses. Back to the main game, Minecraft is a sandbox game. That means that the user starts gaming from zero and has to improve himself to advance in the game, but at his own rhythm and decisions on what he wants to do. This means that it is a non-linear game, which there is no main purpose to win. However, that doesn't mean there are no rules or challenges in the game, and it depends on the user's decision at the beginning of the game, because you can choose the environment where you want to play. In this case, there are two options, survival or creative mode. For survival mode, you have the chance to choose two worlds, Infinity, where you can explore the world with no boundary limits, or you can choose the old world, which is a smaller and limited space world. Both of them start with no sources, arms, or blocks to start building. As the game says, it's survival, so you start from nothing on your inventory. In this game, you have to find resources, destroy some blocks to earn them, hunt your food, that means that you have to kill the animals to stay alive. At this point, I can see that is a little bit aggressive because you're actually hitting the animal to kill him, like if we were cavemen. So we found in the entertainment software rating board, and it says that is for ages from 10 and above, which specify that may contain cartoon, fantasy, or mild violence, mild language, or minimal suggestive themes. So we consider that it is a good rate and the average age is well established. Also in survival mode, you are going to fight monsters, big spiders, zombies, and more creatures who appear at night. Each enemy has its own power, defense, and attack mode. Some of the most important enemies that will show up several times are the creepers, the zombies, spiders, and slenders. Some of them explode or appear and disappear, so if you don't have a good weapon to kill them, you better run or be safe inside your build house. A good feature you can have on this game, if you have enough resources, You can build other items like swords, beds, or even windows. But for someone who don't know the materials very well, it may be a little bit difficult to find them. That's why the main game has the creative mode. This option works very similar to the survival mode. At the beginning, when you are creating the new world, also appear the old and infinity options, and an extra one called flat, which is an infinity world but with anything on it, just a plain grass floor over all the game. The advantage here is that you have every single material from the game, so you're able to create whatever your imagination wishes. You also have water, lava, you can create animals and even create all the enemies and monsters from the game. You are able to fly and to get to the bottom of the ocean without dying drowned. The controls are the same in both modes. On the left, you have direction controls that make you move forward, back, and side to side. On the right, you have the jump button. For the creative mode, you have the up and down controls when you're flying. Up in the middle of the screen border, you can find the chat button when you are in a multiplayer mode, and the pause button, where you can resume, leave, or change the aspects of the game, like switch the side of the controls, have an extensive view of the world, change the atmosphere of the game, select only day mode, and many other technical issues. Here you have 3 different camera perspectives: first person, third person back, or third person front. If you want to, you can create a Microsoft account linked to Minecraft. With this option, you can access to the marketplace and purchase special worlds, texture packs, skin packs, and many more. To purchase all these items, you may use your Minecoins, the currency economy of the game. To get more Minecoins, you have to use real money to buy them. For those who don't want to pay, there are few profile characters you can use as your avatar. The main characters from the game are Steve and Alex. You can change some of their clothes or use a new character. As I told you before, you can play with many friends and survive in the world or create extraordinary things. Even more, there are some available online services where you can join and interact with others. Some of them could have challenges inside the game. Take into account that if you want to join these services, you must have an account and internet connection. Another recommendation I could tell you is that if you have an account but you don't have internet connection, you cannot be able to play Minecraft. So if you are traveling or inside a plane with no connection, make sure you exit from your account and then you can play offline. In my personal opinion, I prefer the creative mode, because I'm able to create whatever I want without thinking if I'm gonna die. However, that doesn't mean it is the best option. Like I said, it's a sandbox game, so it depends on the user what is in his main purpose while playing Minecraft. Hope you like this game and will start creating your own world.
Hi, I'm Manuel. Actually, I'm on 7th semester at University of La Sabana in Colombia. I'm going to talk about Until Dawn, a huge and incredible video game by Supermassive Games. Nowadays, there are more video games that rely on narrative as their core, but none have been mixing it with terror. Until now, of course. Supermassive Game, a studio that has been in the background developing games for PlayStation Move and helping out the Sly with games like Little Big Planet Vita and Killzone Shadowfall, has been trying to get this project off the ground since its inception in 2008, and after a few setbacks during its creation, we finally have it for us. Among the most important PlayStation 4 exclusive is Until Dawn in 2015, an interactive adventure that takes place a horror film as a basis for its narrative, while introducing us to an atmosphere that broke with the butterfly effect every second.
I need to go find Sam.
Son of a bitch!
Oh my god!
Terror is something complicated to achieve because we all know it. It is difficult to surprise and scare 21st century audiences. So rather than trying to scare people with a scare or monster, what Until Dawn shapes is to make our choices what really matters. It's true that Until Dawn isn't for everyone. It's a very genre-based game, survival horror. To be specific, you have to like being scared because you're going to be.
What the hell's that?
That could be a lot of things. None of them nice.
Quit it.
Until Dawn offers a simple and accessible approach to all players, which doesn't mean it's easy. As the story progresses, the player will randomly assume control of one of the 8 characters and can move freely around the stage. During the exploration, we will be able to interact with the environment to take tests or make decisions. It's important to remember that these decisions, also most of them, will have no time limit, can have a time limit, and that will make the tension rise. Another element that will increase of nervousness is the fixed camera. The camera will hide and show the scenarios you like to ensure tension and many scares. Honestly, in myself, I am not a big fan of the still camera. I think Until Dawn has done it perfectly. Impossible angles, hidden areas, heart attack scares, and a disturbing sense of alien observation that makes your head stand on end. Another very important point is the quick time event. Throughout the game there will be moments of action, more or less fast, in which the player will have to press one or more buttons at the exact moment. This quick TV, which will not require long combinations, can be somewhat complicated depending on the player's attitude. So for example, if we chase a suspect and decide to take the shortcut instead of the safe path, the quick TV will be much faster. Trying to include a little more variety, some interesting mechanics has been added. One of the most common is not to move the controller in moment of tension. This way, the player will have to keep the light on the controller inside the box to avoid being detected. Another peculiar element is that we use the PlayStation camera. There will be moments in which we will have to keep silent not to be discovered. As usual, Until Dawn also makes use of the touch panel of our controller, and we can use it to turn the pages of documents, unlock the mobile, or light a match. The last mechanism we will use is the shot. To do this, we'll have to move our pointer to the target's grid and press R2 before time runs out. With the quality standards of a Hollywood blockbuster, Until Dawn features famous screenwriters, renowned actors on a top-notch soundtrack. The basis of each story is the return of a group of 8 friends to the vacation home of one of them in the mountains of Canada to commemorate the anniversary of an event that made their lives. In a totally snowy place insulated from the world except for a cable car and with the sole purpose of having a good time, the lives of all of them will depend on our decisions, with a total of 10 chapters, which we complete individually once the title is complete. In approximately 8 to 10 hours of gameplay, it is important to remember that the player will not be able to save or lock the game at any time to change their decisions, which adds even more tension to the plot. In the context, we find 3 complementary narrative lines. The first one has to do with the group of friends who return to the Hugh house to remember what happened a year before. The second one goes into the terrible cases that took place into the mines in the area during the 50s. And finally, we will have to investigate who is the strange character that wanders around the area. In a story with such an immersive narrative, it is essential to have a high level of ambience, and here Until Dawn is extremely grateful for its launch on PlayStation 4. Making impeccable use of the Umbra 3 graphics engine, Until Dawn features related 3D modeling, dynamic lighting, high-resolution textures, and particle effects to ensure a fully cinematic experience. Another eye-catching visual element is the character animations. Thanks to their excellent quality, each one of them has their own personality and that makes them feel alive, also favored by the use of their voices and interpretations. Although Until Dawn is based on narrative and scenario exploration, it includes a number of interesting extras. The first one is the totems. These artifacts will be scattered throughout the different scenarios and will reveal parts of possible futures. This will not only serve as a guide, but will also complete parts of a small video that will reveal the complete story behind Until Dawn. A very interesting element, which we have already mentioned, are the profiles of the main characters. Each of the 8 members of the cast will have their own psychological characteristics and an affinity bar with each of the characters. This way, as we play the game, we'll see how it involves and how these little factors will also be key to the story's development. Finally, we have a relationship with all the butterfly effects that have been produced, with a total of 21 key points with various decisions and repercussions. Within each one of them, the player will be able to remember everything he did that could have been otherwise.
Hi, my name is Christian Ballén. I'm a student from Universidad de la Sabana. I'm going to do a review about the video game Parches Star for my class Taller Multimedia. Parches is designed for cell phones or on of this Indian version. Parches was created by the engineers Jovin Agarwal and Asfar Ahmad on February of 2017. This game is designed for 2 players or more, maximum 4 players. There are 2 kinds of games, Classic and Español. The difference between these two is that in Classic, if you have your chip in a safe box, another player won't can stay also there. On the other hand, in Español mode, you can do that. You can play with your Facebook friends by inviting them or getting invited. And if you want, you can play with a random user. To play with an opponent, you will have to bet at least. Another interesting fact is that you can change your dices with gems, or you can interact with people with a chat or just by emojis. Parches has a place where they give you 6 gifts just by watching advertising of other games. Also, you can get gems or game coins on the online store, paying with real money. With these game coins or gems, you can purchase different customized dices, chips, or fields. This game has been created for people over 5 years old. Parches is a strategic game. Here is going to win the person who moves better his or her chips. The objective of this game is take all the chips to the final box, which is in the middle of the field. You can achieve it only by crossing all the 100 boxes that are in the field. There are some safe boxes where the opponents can send you to the beginning or the jail. On the play, you have to press the dice and get a 5 to can take out of jail your chip. That means if you get 2 5s on your dice, you will take out 2 chips. If you get 3 pairs repeatedly, you will have a punishment. One of your chips will go back to jail. Another interesting fact is if you place 2 of your chips on the same box, you will make a block for the opponent or the opponent chips. A match could take about 15 minutes, and this game is designed for just smartphones. That means you can find it on Play Store or App Store. And that's all. Thank you.